Today, we got a story time of a kid who thinks that Shin Sonic is actually real and out to get him. Yes, this kid has watched too much entertainment online. He's watched too many YouTube videos to the point where he disrupts. It's a crazy story. This kid genuinely believes that Shin Sonic is not only real, but is personally after him. And it's a super funny story, so sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you're new, leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. So we're gonna call the subscriber who submitted today's story, Zach. Anyways, this all happened on a nice Saturday morning. I remember as a kid, one of the best feelings ever was waking up on a Saturday morning. I mean, Friday night was always so exciting because you got back from school, done with the week, didn't have to do any classes or anything. Usually would be gaming with the boys for quite a long time. And then you could sleep in on Saturday. And let me know in the comment section if this is also true for you, but you never really did. You, for some reason, you could never wake up at 6:30 in the morning to go to school. You'd always be super unhappy, super groggy. You'd be rubbing your eyes the whole time. But for some reason on Saturday morning, no alarm, no nothing, you would spring out of bed like that just because it's Saturday morning at like 5:45, just be wide awake, excited for the world, maybe throw in some cartoons, maybe, shoot up a couple YouTube videos. Like, dude, I don't even know. Like, something was just magical about Saturday morning. So anyways, on this Saturday morning, the subscriber and his friends, they were all kind of chilling together and they were hanging out at the local park. And that's when a kid who I'm going to call Ben races over to them. Like races. So anyways, Zach and his friends, they know this kid Ben. They're friendly enough with him. Like, Zach and his boys are cool. They're inclusive. They're not going to hang out with everyone all the time, but they're not going to be jerks to anyone. They're happy with everyone. They love life. Life is good. They are friendly with Ben, even though Ben has a reputation for exaggerating and being a little bit crazy at times. So anyways, Zach looks up and he sees Ben racing towards them, sweating, panting, out of breath, looking terrified. Bro genuinely looks like he saw a ghost. So anyways, the subscriber looks at me, he's like, hey, bro, are you okay? And you hear, guys, oh my God. So at this point, Zach and all of his friends who are kind of at the local park, they look at him and they're just kind of like, bro, are you okay? Is everything all right? What's going on? We're low-key genuinely concerned right now, which is understandable, bro. I mean, buddy's coming in panting 3,000 miles per hour, racing into the park like he saw a ghost, and he looks genuinely distressed. So, I mean, I'd be concerned too. Even if this kid has a tendency to exaggerate, the way that he was running in and looking so crazy and scared, bro, I would be a little bit worried too. I'd want to make sure that he's okay, because just because someone exaggerated in the past doesn't necessarily mean that they're always exaggerating, that they're always not telling the truth. You know what I mean? So anyways, sure enough, Ben's like, guys, I don't know how to say this to you, but do you know who Shin Sonic is? And at this point, Zach is kind of like, oh, brother. Okay, yeah, for a second, I thought this could be something legit. For a second, I thought this could be something actually serious. But then Buddy comes around and hits us with a, yo, have you ever heard of Shin Sonic before? Bro, I have not heard of Shin. Yeah, yes. Anyways, if you don't know what it is, it's to my knowledge, because I don't have an extensive knowledge on everything on the internet, but to me, it kind of seems like some kind of, almost not exactly a creepypasta, but almost kind of an offshoot horror story type thing when it comes to Sonic. He's kind of a crazy evil Sonic or whatever. Let me give you a huge spoiler. I need you guys to prepare yourself. I need you to strap in and be ready for this knowledge bomb. Shin Sonic is not real. He is a fictional character who lives on the internet and the internet only. I know, I think I might have just absolutely blew up some of your minds with such an intense knowledge drop. I think I might have actually altered the brain chemistry of a few of you guys after delivering such intense knowledge, such monumental wisdom that it's almost near incomprehensible how incredible the knowledge drop I just dropped. I get it. I understand. I totally understand. But anyways, right? So this kid, Ben, is looking at them like, do you know who Shin Sonic is? Well, you're not going to believe this, but you should. He's real. And, dude, last night, I'm telling you, I got home from school. I was walking back. I was, chilling, excited. It was a Friday. I was walking back, and I saw the bushes next to me. Something was in there, bro. And at this point, Zach and all of his friends are kind of waiting for him to say something crazy like, well, Shin Sonic popped out of the bushes and started doing a Fortnite dance and then said, give me your V-Bucks or I'll blow up your face. Like, dude, they didn't they didn't think that was going to be real, but they expected, Ben to follow up such a crazy claim with a crazy statement. But Ben just looks at them, pauses, and is like, the bushes, they were shaking, bro. And I'm telling you, it was Shin Sonic. So I think a very logical follow-up that I totally understand that the subscriber Zach asked was, well, what makes you think it was Shin Sonic, bro? And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, I was doing some research on the internet, and Shin Sonic, he comes after people, and I could just tell it was him. It was Shin Sonic. After my research says so. And at this point, Zach's like, okay, bro, I know you did like research online or something, but I really don't think that strongly implies that it's Shin Sonic. He's like, dude, no, the story isn't over. Anyways, so I realized that Shin Sonic was after me, and I was like, no. So I ran back home, and I ran really fast, Shin Sonic had won really fast. But I went even faster. Anyways, so I got back home and I locked myself in my room, and the closet, it was dark in there, so I knew Shin Sonic was in there as well. So I went out of my room, and I've just been I slept on the couch, and my parents were really confused. I was like, Shin Sonic's upstairs. You don't want to go up there? And they looked at me, and they were like, what? I was like, you don't understand, Mom. It's not a phase. I'm just kidding. And I went over here to tell you guys. And Zach's like, what? He's like, bro, let me hear this. Let me rewind for a second. Just a second. And let's just take a second to think through your story together. So you're walking home, and there was rustling in a bush. Could that have been a squirrel? Could that have been the wind? Or it could have been Shin Sonic from the internet, who isn't real. Maybe all three of those are equally as likely. Who knows? Anyways, so you go back home, you lock yourself in your room, and you see that the closet is dark. Maybe, let's think through this. Maybe the closet is dark because you didn't turn on the lights. Or it's Shin Sonic. I don't know. I think they're both equally likely. So Zach looks at his friends, then looks at Ben, and is like, you know what, Ben? Maybe Shin Sonic is actually after you. I think you're right. And Ben's like, okay, thank God. Okay, I didn't think you were going to, believe me. But it seems like they haven't gotten to you yet, then. That's good. And Zach's like, wait, who is they? And he's like, the Order of Shin Sonic, obviously. Oh my God, you really know nothing. And Zach looks at his friends, and they look at him with this kind of look of, dude, I don't know what's going on. Don't look to me for guidance, bro. I don't, this is your thing, bro. Because all of his friends, I bet most of his friends were just going to, be like, bro, you're being crazy and walk away. But, I mean, I don't know if Zach was doing the right thing or the wrong thing here, but he was definitely leaning into it. He was hardcore playing into this. And his friends were giving him this look. This look of, you got yourself into this. You're now in too deep. We're not going to save you. Good luck. And so sure enough, Ben goes on to explain that the Order of Shin Sonic is essentially a secret organization that helps Shin Sonic, attack his prey or whatever. And one of the things that they'll do is when Ben tries to tell people that Shin Sonic is actually after him, Anyone who says that he's crazy has been either paid off, manipulated, brainwashed, or themselves are in the order of Shin Sonic. And that's why they say, no, you're crazy, Ben. The bushes moving doesn't necessarily imply that Shin Sonic in there, and maybe your closet was dark because the light wasn't on. It wasn't Shin Sonic using some crazy magic power. Anyone who says that is obviously part of the Shin Sonic order, or they've been brainwashed into saying such nonsense, clearly. Yeah, so sure enough, right, at this point, Zach's like, nah, I'm in too deep. And Zach's like, I don't know, bro, like, I'm not necessarily, like, bro, like, maybe it is, but maybe you're just overthinking this. And Ben looks at him. He has this look of like, you too. Like you've been like, it's almost like, oh my God, like you've been turned to the dark side, Anakin. Like he has this look of like, he's like, excuse me, did you just say it might not be Shin Sonic? And Ben slowly starts backing up, like slowly walking backwards as if like Zach has some crazy firearm or some katana or something. I don't even know, dude. And sure enough, Zach's like, bro, I'm just saying, like, it could be other things. And Ben's like, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic, but you're going to have to try harder than that. And he turns around and he Sonic dashes away. You know when you throw your arms behind you and you like sprint, run away? Bro, unironically Sonic dashed away saying, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic. Like, bro, he literally just suggested that, maybe Sonic isn't after you. So anyways, Ben has ran away after saying that this kid is part of the Order of Shin Sonic. What's that even mean, bro? I mean, if you guys in the comment section can enlighten me, I think I've hit unk status, bro. This is all beyond me. I just tell the stories I'm told, bro. I don't even know. Anyways, so Zach and his friends are kind of looking at each other like, bro, what is up with this kid? Because Ben, as I said earlier in the video, Ben is definitely known for exaggerating. Ben definitely is known for having a very active imagination, to say the least. But anyways, they enjoyed the rest of their Saturday. They enjoyed the rest of their Sunday. Eventually, as Monday rolls around, as it always does, and they're walking into class, they're walking into school. And anyways, so Zach is walking down the hallway. He's going to his second period class. He's, got, one earbud in, one earbud out, partially kind of listening to music, thinking about something. His head's in a totally different world. And that's where he hears this voice in the ear that doesn't have an earbud in it whisper, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic. And Will, I keep saying the wrong name. Zach is like startled, kind of steps back for a second, takes out his other earbud, so now he can fully pay attention to his surroundings. He looks over at his left, and Ben is standing there, his arms like on his sides, on his hips, almost in like a defiant stance. And he's like, oh, what's up, Ben? And Ben's like, I said, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic. I know that you're working for Shin Sonic, and it didn't work last night. And Zach's like, what do you mean it didn't work last night? What are you even talking about, bro? Anyways, right. So Ben goes on to explain that, you thought you guys got away with what you tried to do last night. Nice try, Order of Shin Sonic. He's like, yeah, so last night I was playing Roblox and this guy messaged me on Roblox and he was telling me like if I sent him 100 Robux that he could double it and get me 200. And I knew what you guys were trying to do. And Zach's like, bro, that's just a doubling scam. Don't fall for that. He's like, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic. I knew that if I didn't send him 100 Robux, that my location to Shin Sonic would have been leaked. So I immediately sent him 100 Robux. What? Yes, you guys thought that you could get me from not sending it to him, and then Shin Sonic would know where I am. And Zach's like, first of all, bro, what do you even mean by that? Like, just because, like, how would Shin Sonic or whatever know your location because you didn't send some guy 100 Robux? And also, didn't you say that Shin Sonic was in your room? So shouldn't he know, like, where you are? Ben's like, silence! You're trying to confuse me now. A common tactic of those in the order of Shin Sonic. I know he's coming after me, and I know that you're on his team and he's paying you off handsomely, but you guys will all fail. And so from there, Ben throws his arms behind him, tucks his head down, and Sonic dashes away. Again. Anyways, at this point, Zach's like, okay, I think I'm done with Ben for a little bit. I'm definitely gonna try and avoid him until he gets out of this little phase he's in, because this is definitely a phase. It's not a phase, Mom. Anyways, so Zach kind of thought to himself, okay, well, this isn't that bad. This kid's being a little weird, but it's not gonna, he's gonna stop here, right? Eventually he's gonna get bored of playing this little Shin Sonic game with me, and it's not gonna become some kind of big, crazy thing that, it's not gonna become something big, crazy, and blown out of proportion, right? Right? Yeah, let me just say that things are about to go pretty crazy, and if they haven't already gone south, then they are about to go mega south. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, I want you to comment towel down below. TOWEL. The reason why I'm asking you to comment that is I'm looking at a towel right now to kind of dampen the audio, make it slightly better. It's not great. I do what I can do. But also, it's the secret word of the day, and it lets me know the names and the faces of people who've made it this far into the video, as I do appreciate you. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and please comment that down below. And if you're listening on Spotify, make sure that you've rated the podcast 5 stars and followed it. Yes, and if you're on YouTube, make sure you know we're also on Spotify and vice versa if you're listening on Spotify. If you want to submit a story, as these are all user-submitted stories or subscriber-submitted stories, then you can either go to Instagram, look up Connor Pugs, follow me, and then message me your story, or go to Snapchat, look up Connor Pugs. I got the star on there, so you know it's me. Add me, and then swipe up to one of my stories and tell me all about your story. Also, even if you're not submitting stories, add me on Snapchat. I post about my day, and I do a lot more than just stories on YouTube. It's actually like 5% of my day, so might be interesting. Who knows? Anyways, so, yeah. Zach's going about his day. He's in his 4th period class. He's tired. He didn't get a full night of sleep. He kind of just wants to go home, and one thing's for certain, he doesn't want to be there. I mean, bro, he's in a geometry class. The days, it's like 1 o'clock. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can sometimes power through my 8 a.m., 9 a.m. class. But if I have class, and then it's like middle of the day, so I still got to be there for a couple more hours. But it's like I've already used up a lot of my initial energy during the day. Like, that is usually the worst, bro. So for some reason, the middle of the day classes at like 1 are, they're just the worst. So he's sitting there in his like geometry class or whatever. And he's completely forgotten about Ben and his antics with Shin Sonic or whatever. And, well, let me just say he did forget. Because that's when the door slams open mid-lecture. So the teacher's, like, lecturing or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. 1 + 1 is 8. I don't even know. I'm a math major in college, but I'm not paying attention. It could be, for all I know. And that's when the door slams open. And Ben's like... He runs into class, slams the door behind him, and runs over to where Zach is. And Zach is just like, he almost feels like Zach was like, wait, yo, am I dreaming or something? Like, am I tripping out? Like, because he was spacing out for a second. He's like, do I have a super active imagination? Very quickly, he realized that's not the case. And Ben's like, get Shin Sonic to go away now. And... Zach's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're in the order of Shin Sonic. Tell Shin Sonic to go away. I was in class, and there was a disturbance in the force, and I knew he was near, and I had to run away. Tell him to go away now. The entire class is like startled by this. They're all looking at Zach. They're all looking at Ben. The teacher is just frozen in confusion. Because, like, obviously this is a complete disruption of class, so the teacher has full right to, like, stop this. But the teacher lets this go for way too long because the teacher's just so confused. He has no idea what's going on. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I was a teacher and all of a sudden someone runs in and says, stop, get Shin Sonic to stop. Like, dude, I wouldn't even know what was going on either. So Zach is like, bro, I don't know what you're saying. I can't say that strong enough. What do you mean you felt a disturbance of the force? You're not Qui-Gon Jinn, bro. Like, what? Anyways, so sure enough, he's like, no, tell Shin Sonic to go away now. Yeah, so sure enough, right, the subscriber's trying to calm Ben down. And eventually the teacher's like, what's going on here? And Ben's like, Shin Sonic's coming after me and make Zach stop. And the teacher's like, Zach, what did you do? And Zach's like, bro, I legitimately didn't do anything. And the teacher's like, I don't know. It sounds like you did. And Zach's like, okay, Ben, how about you explain to the teacher exactly what I did? So Ben goes on to explain to the teacher that an evil incarnation of Sonic has been after him for the last couple weeks, and that he felt a disturbance in the Force, and he ran over here because Zach is obviously in the order of Shin Sonic, and he needs to tell him Shin Sonic to go away right now. Okay, by the end of that explanation, the teacher started to realize that Ben was on some nonsense and that Zach was falsely accused of doing anything. And the teacher's like, Ben, can you please maybe go back to your class? And that's when Ben looks at the teacher. He's like, you're also in the order of Shin Sonic. And he runs to the back of the class. And the teacher looks at Zach like, yo, what do we do here? And Zach's like, dude, I don't know. And the teacher's like, hey, Ben, you got to go back to your class. I'm going to call your teacher if you don't come back. And he's like, no, you and Zach are in the order of Shin Sonic. Shin Sonic will never win. And they're just like, oh my God. So anyways, the teacher eventually calls Ben's teacher. And while they're waiting there, the teacher's like, hey, like, Ben, please go back to class. He's like, no. He's like sitting in the back of the classroom, just like, nice try, Order of Shin Sonic member. You and Shin Sonic and Zach are not going to beat me today. Like, bro, what are you saying? Anyways, so eventually Ben's teacher comes like, Ben, can you please come back to class? He's like, no. And the teacher's like, Ben, I put a magic spell and Shin Sonic's now gone. And he's like, really? Oh my God. Teacher, arrest these two. And points to like the other teacher and Zach. And the teacher's like, haha, Ben, let's go. So the teacher walks out of class with Ben. And the teacher must have known, like, this must have been a running thing. And instead of the teacher just like being like, sit down, stop with that nonsense, I guess she kind of, I don't know if it's a good call. Comment down below if you think it was a good call or a bad call for the teacher to kind of play into it. Personally, I think she probably shouldn't, because then this nonsense is going to keep happening. And it's almost like validating him when he's completely delusional, obviously. I mean, he's a kid, so he's imagination, but you shouldn't interrupt the rest of the day. But so the teacher eventually, so Ben leaves classroom, and the geometry teacher goes back to the front of the classroom. Remember, they just lost 20 minutes from the kid claiming that the teacher and Zach were in a secret order of a magical character online who was after him. Let's just say it was pretty hard to get class back to normal after something like that happens.